Hey guys, it's Greg at Vanguard Motor Sales. Man, I got a really rare one for you today. We've got a Canadian-built 1970 Chevelle, and for those of you who know, a Canadian-built one, you can actually tell it was built an SS, and this was a real SS off the line. Now, unfortunately, it is not numbers matching. The previous owner told us that it was a re-stamped block. Now, my guys checked it all out. All the date codes line up, and they tell me if they hadn't been told it was a re-stamp, they wouldn't know. That's how close all the date codes line up. So she is a beautiful car. She's a real SS, born that way, restored to just, to a 10. She's absolutely beautiful. Now those stripes are buried underneath the clear and they are just as nice. Those curves are nice and smooth. Those corners are nice and sharp. Everything about this car is just knocking it out of the park. And of course, 70 is probably the hottest Chevelle out there. Now those tires on there also are pretty special. They look like the original bias ply tires, but those are actually radial tires. So those come from Coker. You can see the stance on it is beautiful. The wheels are beautiful. All the trim, and do you see how smooth that door opened up? She's absolutely sweet as can be. The door panel itself, some beautiful shape. Steering wheel looks original. Center console. Of course, it's a 4-speed. We got seat belts in the front and the rear. Package tray's looking good. The headliner's looking good. Even the dome light's working. Look at that. We still got the shoulder belts in there that they used to use back in the day. Just everything about the car is just knocking it out of the park for me. She's absolutely beautiful. The dash is in gorgeous shape. All the chrome around the gauges, the faces of the gauges, all the lenses on the gauges look good. The carpeting looks like it's brand new. Like I said, you see how nice and smooth that baby closed too? That paint is just as soft as can be. That chrome on the back bumper's looking good. And again, we'll get right down to it again. Look how nice and square all those corners are. Look how smooth all the bends are. That tells you this painter knew what he was doing. And again, those babies are buried in the clear. I can't even feel them. Inside the trunk, just what you'd expect in there. Looks like a brand new car. Looks like we rolled the clock back. Look at that floor there. Look at the coatings on there. Now, whenever you see a trunk mat in a car, make sure you pull it up and see what's underneath it. You see those wheel wells are all nicely coated. The back of the back seat there, you can see all that. Framework's all looking good. And looky here, even the light in the trunk's working, man. Isn't that cool? We got beautiful paint on the bottom side of the deck lid. You can see they refinished all of this in here, just as neat as can be. Again, that probably looks better than it did when it rolled off the showroom floor back in 1970. As you look down the passenger side, she is straight as an arrow. I tell you what, they must have spent a lot of time blocking this baby before they laid down that red paint. She is gorgeous. Now, a lot of people ask where we find all these beautiful vehicles. Well, we have a complete buy team that all they do all day long is look for cars like this for sale. They collect all the information, they bring it to our buy team meeting, we pick out our favorites, then we physically go out and look at every one of these cars so you don't have to. Time, baby. Big block under the hood, hooked up to a 4-speed, ready to go out to a car show, cars and coffee, ice cream, head out and get yourself groceries, whatever you want to do. Have some fun with this baby. I drive my car everywhere. My car went to every football practice, basketball practice, swim practice, everywhere, baby. Haul them kids around, haul mama around, take her to the store. Tell you what, the trans is shifting nice, up and down. Now this has got the reverse lockout, so when you put it in reverse, when you stop, that's how you get the key out. Locks the steering wheel, also locks the key. It's got a nice sounding exhaust system on it. Of course, you guys that know me, I like to make a lot of noise. So it's got a nice rumble to it, but personally I'd put louder mufflers on it. Down here on the dash, everything's looking good. Sorry about the roads here in Michigan. We got a couple rough spots. Everything on the dash is just looking amazing. One of the coolest things, the tires on this thing. They look like bias ply tires, but they're radials. Can you imagine going over some of those bumps with bias ply tires? Like to rip the steering wheel out of your hand, but not with the radials, man. I mean, look at this thing, driving down the road nice and straight. I haven't even touched the wheel. Just following right behind this little Saturn here. Now, we're gonna take this baby back to the shop and put it up on the lift. We're gonna show you everything you need to see. And make sure you share this video with your buddies and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Heck, take a look at us on all the social medias. This thing will be on Facebook, it'll be on Instagram, everywhere, guys. Like I said, the trans feels great. So we're gonna head back to the shop now. We're gonna put it up on the lift. We're gonna show you just how pretty the bottom side of this baby is. So stick with us. We're coming up here at 15100 Keel Street in Plymouth, Michigan. We'll see you in a minute. We'll be underneath this baby. We are underneath this beautiful Chevelle, and man, is it clean under here. First thing you see is the stainless steel gas tank. That is very, very cool. And then you can see the brand new exhaust. It's got dual exhaust on it. Rear end housing is a 12 bolt, all nice and pretty and painted up. 373 gear. Now the car originally would have came with a 331 gear, but they've upgraded it to a 373 gear. It is Posi. The guys will check out the brakes, so pull those all apart. You can see the shocks look new, the brake lines look new. The drive shaft is all painted up, looks like bare metal, looking sweet. It's got stock appearing mufflers on it. Now on a real SS, these lower control arms are reinforced and these extra braces are here. Like I said earlier, this car was built in Canada. We have the paperwork proving that it was born in SS. We got new brake line going front to back. We got new fuel line and vapor line going front to back. Parking brake cable looks like it's new. The trans does have the number stamped on it, but the previous owner tells us it is a restamp. Like I said earlier, all the date codes and everything line up. It was really nice of the previous owner to let us know that it was a restamp because, and again, I said it earlier, my guys, when they checked it out, says, man, all the dates line up so close, there's no reason to not believe this is the original motor that was in it. So it's really cool of them to be honest with us. Everything, I mean, they just did a beautiful job putting this thing together. All the steering gear looks good. Fuel pump looks like it's an original piece. Front frame horns are nice and straight. The core support here on the bottom side that holds the radiator up is looking good. Back bumper, or back of the front bumper is nice and clean. Of course, the outside, the chrome is looking sweet. And these are those radial tires I was talking about. Now, these are real similar to what would have come on the car originally. They do look like bias ply tires, and these are 70-14s. Personally, I like the 15-inch and the BFGs. That way you can put a little bit bigger tire on the back, but this is making the car look period correct for sure. As you look down the side here, that rocker panel's all nicely painted. The bottom edge of the front fender's all nice and pretty. You can see that everything was finished up. I always try to get a finger in behind there, feel if there's any patchwork or anything. Always feel the back side of the rocker also. Bottom side of the rocker is all nicely painted. Pinch weld looks nice. The frame's nicely painted. Out back here, of course, we got the same size tire. And again, that's where You know, personally, I'd put a wider tire on it, but this is the way it would have come from the factory. Guys, we're gonna lower it down and look under the hood. Look how pretty it is under here, man. You wanna talk about sweet. They did a beautiful job on this thing. I mean, again, looks like it rolled off the factory floor. We got GM markings on the hoses. We got a Delco power booster for the brakes, so we do have power brakes. We do have power steering. They got beautiful paint on the motor. We got some extra hot paint on the exhaust manifolds so it doesn't melt that paint off, so they look like they're bare metal. It's got a stock appearing 4-barrel carburetor on it too. All the wiring all looks stock, all the hoses look stock. They went as far as using the stock appearing clamps. You can see that the under hood light works. You can see the paint work on the bottom side of the hood is just about as slick as the top side. Air cleaner looks correct. I mean, just everything about this car. They went as far as putting new fiberglass in the hood also. I mean, just, you know, the core support up here is nice and clean. They even put a battery in it that looks old school. So it looks like it's an old school battery, which is super cool. Now this is a little battery shutoff that we put on all the cars. You twist it to the left, you see the light went off. Twist it to the right, the light comes back on. So you can shut your battery off. The firewall's nice and clean. The inner fenders are nice and clean. I mean, everything about this car is nice and clean, guys. So give us a call at 248-974-9513 and let Vanguard Motor Sales park this dream in your drive.